Hello, my spooky fiends, my witches, my ghouls, my vampires, my werewolves, my demons, my monsters, my zombies, and everything in between. Welcome to my abode. Enter if you dare.
Hello, it is Spooktober. It is finally spooky season. Do you like my finger? I'm so excited that we're in October. I am in full-blown October mood. Do you like my witch's outfit? I think it all suits me. I feel like I'm in my inner goth since I love black. I've got my trusty little finger. Want to touch it? Didn't mix it. So today's video is my long-awaited October TBR. It is a big one, so without further ado, let's get straight into this video and see what books I will be reading for Spooktober. So we are in for a busy month, guys. Very busy. Also, I got given it in a book for a book tour for next month, and it came with this, and I thought this is perfect. This is now going to be my props for every October post I'm going to share. But yeah, anyway, we are doing my October TBR. I will be playing my Go Fish TBR game, although it will not be called Go Fish. It's still my Go Fish cards, but I've decorated it up so it's more spooky. So the TBR's game is going to actually be called Go Spooky TBR game. So I'll be playing that, but I am going to be doing this video and this game a little bit different than what I normally do when I do my TBRs. So usually I will share what's on my set TBR, and then I will play the game, and sometimes I'll fit some of the books that are on my set TBRs, sometimes I'll fit books that are on my shelves, and I do it like that. This time round I'm not doing it like that, so I usually make up my own prompts and everything like this. This time round I have been doing spooky prompts, B, a lot of these prompts are from the readathons that I'm participating in, because I'm not doing one readathon, I'm doing 4. On top of that, I have got so many tour books and book club books. Yeah, so my TBR game, I'm going to be playing it, but instead of choosing books from either my shelf or maybe fitting in books that I have set, I will be picking books that are actually all set on my TBR. So I will try and fit in those books to these spooky prompts. I also have non-bookish prompts. I've got prompts to watch a scary movie, prompts to make a Halloween tree, carve a pumpkin, dress up, that sort of things. I've also got just not spooky ones, but just like watch BookTube for so many videos. You know, just have like a self-care day, because October is, I'm excited for it, but it is actually my anniversary of my dog's death on the 27th of October, so it's not a month that I'm overly wanting to happen. I try not to talk about it too much because I'll burst into tears, but it's already tough. It's the reason why I wanted to read and do a lot in October, just so I do not get extremely low. I'm obviously going to be grieving. I've been grieving for the past year nearly, but I just know I'm going to be in like an absolute state. So yeah, so that was why I've done so many books. To be honest, I did it and I was like, it's doable, I can do it, but things have changed. So my daughter usually spends weekends at her dad's like every fortnight, we've had to sort of change that around because she's been invited to some of her school friends' birthdays, which are on her usual contact days of her dad's. So one weekend, which is actually this weekend as I'm filming this, she because she's got an inset day on Friday, she's actually going to her dad's Thursday night, Friday night, back Saturday morning. But the rest of her contact days, she's actually only just doing one night. And on top of that, where I thought I had October half term just me and she was at her dad's, turns out that's not the case. I actually have her for half term. So where I had a full week of going to be like non-stop reading, I now don't, because we'll be going out doing certain activities with Alice. So I'm now a little bit worried, because where I did have time to read, do like 24-hour readathons, 48, like week-long vlogs, stuff like that, now it's actually not going to be doing that. But nevertheless, I will probably just be staying up really late to read. But with further ado, let's get into my game. So we are doing the same game that I always do. So here's my very crap job of my Go Fish cards. I couldn't find any spooky cards that were decent, like cheap price to do this, so I just ended up doing this and putting like little blue tack stickers on just to make it spooky. I've got my prompt cards here, which are all spooky related. So I am going to be doing, if I roll, say I roll a 6 and then my second roll I roll a 6 again, I will give an extra mark, but I don't have my tally chart. I don't know where I put it, so I'm not going by that. So literally, if I roll double things, I'll do an extra roll. But usually with my tally chart, if I've like done 5 of that number, then I have to do an extra roll, or put a extra, like either do an extra roll or do like a book from my DNF big pile thing. Also, I do need to add an extra book, because in August, because I obviously didn't do my TBR game in September, but in August I didn't complete my TBR, so I have to give myself a punishment. So I'll be reading a book out of my DNF don't want to read pile. Haven't sort of done anything and looked at that, but I will be honest, I'm going to give myself a very easy book, purely because I have like, I think I've got over 40 books to read, if I'm going to be honest. So I'll do a little video of like that pile, and I will then come on to tell you what book I've chosen, but I will be making it a little bit easy for me, purely because, you know, I gotta make it easy for me, otherwise I'm gonna be struggling. So with further ado, let's get straight into my Go Spooky TBR game and see what books I will be reading. So, roll 1 was a very nice and easy one. Carve a pumpkin. So basically I have to carve a pumpkin. So we tend to go to a farm and collect our pumpkins with Alice, so we'll probably do that probably half term week. So I will do a little vlog of that possibly and show you me carving a pumpkin sort of thing. So roll 1 was a really nice easy prompt. I'm very happy with that. So roll 2 was another 5, so I have to do an extra roll at the end, and the prompt for roll 2 was read a thriller or murder mystery, and for that I have gone with Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Manskakako. Now, I absolutely love Kerry. I read Kingdom of the Wicked in September, absolutely loved that book, and I've got Kingdom of the Cursed on this TBR, so I'm really excited. Didn't realise that she was the author for Lee's books, so this is the mass market paperback, which I'm a bit miffed about, but I couldn't really afford the hardback, so it's fine, it's doable. But I've got this, and this is Stalking Jack the Ripper. Basically, it says, he murdered women in cold blood, he terrorised an entire city, he taunted those of us who hunted him down, but despite all these horrors, in the end, I could not deny it. I was the girl who loved the Ripper. So yeah, it's sort of a murder mystery, it's a thriller. It also sounds like there is a romance, so I'm really excited to finally get to read this. Chafferei was spooky graphic novel or manga, and so I have gone with Neil Gaiman's graphic novel of The Graveyard Book Volume 1. I've been really wanting to read both the book and the graphic novel. I decided to do the graphic novel because it's a lot easier. I did actually request from the library, because this is from the library as well, Volume 2, because it does like, I think 1 to 6 and then Volume 2, 6 to the end. And when I picked it up, they gave me Volume 1 as well, so I had 2 Volume 1s. So I will be going to the library to say, you've given me Volume 1 but saying I've got Volume 2 when I haven't. I have actually checked to see whether it was the same or not. It is the same. But yeah, I'm reading Volume 1 of The Graveyard Book, and hopefully I will also then read Volume 2 alongside, so then I can say I've read the whole book. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I've had nothing but good things. I'm not going to lie, I can't 100% remember what this is about. But I want to go in it blind anyway. But yeah, so it's definitely got the spooky vibes, because we've got what looks like either a vampire, we've got like ghosts and graves. It's definitely spooky. So yeah, I'm reading that for the spooky graphic novel and manga, and I'm really excited for it. Was the prompt witchy vibes. Now this book is on my Kindle, not a physical, but it's called The Witch by Mark Brownless. I'm actually doing like a Shocktober tour with Zulu's book tours, and apart from I think maybe 1 or 2 books that were on that list, I'm reading everything else. But The Witch is by Mark Brownless. It's 320 pages. And the blurb is this, because I can't remember what it's about, so I'm going to read it out to you. A beautiful 400-year-old waterfront property in an idyllic Welsh village, the property has plenty of character and comes complete with the spirit of a long-dead witch. It's the ideal place for a couple to move to start again, to try and forget the heartbreak of the past. And we are sure that this time she will leave you in peace. So it's about a haunted witch, and this obviously property that's haunted by this witch. And yeah, I'm really excited. I think this is going to give me proper spooky, creepy vibes. But yeah, I'm really excited for that one. So that's what we're going to be reading for witchy vibes. 5 was the prompt, read a book with an autumnal cover. And for that, because it really does scream autumn, I'm reading October by Katia Berlin. So this obviously has, well, October, which is fall, it's autumn as well, but also I just feel like the colours are also autumnal, and we've got trees in that at the back. So this is, I think, a middle grade, but to be honest, I bought this book purely because I absolutely adored the cover, nothing else. I can't remember what it's about either. So it's October and her dad live in the woods. They sleep in the house Dad built for them, and they know the trees and the rocks and the lake and the stars like best friends. They live in the woods and they are wild, and that's the way it is. Until the year October turns 11. That's the year October rescues a baby owl. It's the year Dad falls out of the biggest tree and goes to the hospital. The year the woman who calls herself October's mother comes back. This year, everything changes. So it's middle grade. I think it's all to do with sort of like change and things like that. So it's certainly not spooky per se, but it's definitely got fall vibes. Again, like they live in the woods, so again, autumnal for me. So that's what we're going to be reading for a book with autumnal cover. So roll 6, which would have been my last roll, but obviously I have an extra roll to put in. But roll 6 was the prompt: read a horror story. Read a horror short story. And I've gone for a short story collection, which is Beyond a Veil, which is edited by Mark Morris. This is a new horror short stories, so it is a chunker of a book, I'm not going to lie, but it has, whoa, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's 20 authors, there should be 20 short stories in here. They're all horror related, and yeah, I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be really good. I actually love reading short story collections. I know some people don't, but I quite like it, and I also like that it does sort of flow, especially ones that they do short stories but it tells like one big story, like Blackout that did like one big story but in short stories. But yeah, so I'm going to be reading that. It's actually for a tour anyway, so it makes it much handy, but I'm really excited to read this. I think it's going to be really good and extremely spooky at the same time, and it'll be interesting to see which ones I prefer to others. So that's what I'm going to be reading for that prompt. We had roll 7, which was the extra roll, and I obviously rolled the same again, so I have to have another extra roll. But this was a really nice prompt because it's read in the dark, so basically any of the books on my TBR I just read in the dark. It probably work better with my Kindle. I can read in the dark and just have my Kindle, so I'd probably be that. I will be trying to do some spooky-ish vlogs, so if I do spooky-ish vlogs, then I will try and incorporate me reading in the dark, so you see that I've done that. But that is a nice easy prompt. Roll 8, which luckily was the last roll, and that was read a slasher. And I'm really excited for this book because I have had nothing but good things about this book. Book Skywalker, who I actually have been messaging to get her like horror recommendations and stuff like that, and I asked her about like her favourite slasher, and this was one of them. So I'm going to be reading Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Césaire, if I say that right. And yeah, I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be a fantastic book. So I'll let you know what it's about. So Quinn Maybrook just wants to make it to graduation. She might not make it to morning. When Quinn and her father move to a tiny town with a weird clown for a mascot, they're looking for a fresh start. But ever since the town's only factory shut down, Kettle Springs has been cracked in half. Most of the town believes that the kids are to blame. After all, the juniors and seniors at Kettle Springs Highs are the ones who threw the party where Arthur Hill's daughter died. They're the ones who set the abandoned factory on fire and who spend all their time posting pranks on YouTube. They have no respect and no idea what it means to work hard. For the kids, it's the other way round, and now Kettle Springs is caught in a constant battle between old and new, tradition and progress. It's a fight that looks like it would destroy the town until one homicidal clown with a pork pie hat and a red nose decides to end it for good. Because if your opponents all die, you win the debate by default. So yeah, this sounds brilliant. I'm really excited. This is for a readathon anyway, so regardless if it was on my game or not, I'm still going to be reading it. But I honestly see big high predictions, and people who've read it have absolutely loved it. So yeah, that's what I'll be reading for Read a Slasher. So these are the books on my TBR game, including Carve a Pumpkin, Witchy Vibes, which is the witch, which is on my Kindle, and Read in the Dark. So that's what I will be reading for game-wise. Then the rest are books that are for tours, readathons, book clubs. There's a lot, so I'm just going to breeze through them very quickly for you. So first up, I'm going to do all of the tour books. So I've got quite a few that are on my Kindle, and then a few that are on paperbacks, so I'm just going to breeze through them really quickly because there's a lot. So first up is we've got Fated by Sarah Bigelow. I've already read this. This is Hunted book 3 in the Hunted series. It's about vampires and vampire hunters. There's also got romance in. Really enjoyed it. but I was a bit let down with that book, but you'll get my full thoughts when I do my wrap-up. So we got Hunted. Then next we have Stars Among Us, which is a romance, and again I've read that, it was really good. Next we have The Younglings, which is a half demon, half angel, supernatural story with romance in. Again, this was really good. I've already read it. I will tell you now, it's a 5-star read for me and one of my favourite books of 2021. Then we have Hunt, which is a thriller. We have Children of Moonstone, which is a middle grade. We have Conspiracy of Cats. Bright Lies, which is a audio book, but I'm also going to be doing it on Kindle as well, so I'm going to listen and read along because I can't do audio books on their own, but that is a thriller. We then have The Entrance, which is a sci-fi sort of race type thriller. It sounds very good. I'm intrigued by it. Then we have Legends of Lightning Hidden Realms Book 1. This is a fantasy. We then have Amongst the Mists, which is another thriller. Then we have Hellslay, which is one of the books for the Shocktober book tours, and this is to do with an asylum, horror stuff. Yeah, this sounds very good. I think I'm going to love it. It's also, I think, a short story. I think it's like either under 200 pages or it's 100 pages. I can't remember which. We then have Be Drag, which is a non-fiction about this drag person. I don't know what's going on with that at the minute because I've neither got the book nor the Kindle book, so I'm a little bit anxious of when I'm going to be getting that. Then we have Little Miss Evil, which is another book for the Shocktober tour, and this is a thriller based in a camp, like a summer camp, and there's like a murderer there, sort of slasher type vibes I'm getting as well. We then have Sweet Vigilante, which is another thriller. We then have Dark Secrets, which is I think the last book of this series, but I've also been gifted all of the other books in the series, so there's no way I'm going to read all of the 8, 9, however many books before this one, but I will read like Dark Secrets and then eventually read the other books, so then I get an idea. We then have The Witch, which is what's in my TBR thing, so you already know what that is about. We have No Child of Mine, which is a historical fiction. We have Descent to Hell, which is a book based in hell, and this bloke's trying to get his son from there and something. I can't overly remember what it's about now, but it's to do with demons and hell. It sounds absolutely amazing. I'm really excited for that one. Then we have Clara's Return, which is book 2 of Clara, which is what I read in September, which is like a historical fantasy. Then we have Cold as Hell, which is a noir thriller, which I'm excited for. Then we have The Nightmare, which is another horror short stories anthology, which I'm really excited for that. And then we have Black Haven, which is about this really weird, spooky, haunted town, which again sounds really good. So Shocktober books are like either short stories or they're just shy over 300 pages, but they sound like books that will be really fast paced, so I'm excited for them. So that's the books on my Kindles. We then have The Marvellous Mercer Girls, which was kindly gifted by Harper 360 UK, but it's also for a tour. I've already read it, really good. We then have Invisible Thread, which is about a little girl who died, and like sort of thread of getting like this thread between her and her family and helping them before she can cross over. We then have Butterfly Assassins, the Wi-Fi of Dreams book 2. So I read Wilson and Deed, which is book 1. This is the follow-up from it. Then we've got Secrets of Windwood by Jack Reese. This is a haunted mansion alongside vampires, werewolves, and this curse from this really old witch. This sounds absolutely amazing. I'm really excited to read this one. We then have The Perfume Thief by Timothy Chafferei. This is a historical fiction story, but is also I think lesbian, if I remember. I think it's a female-female relationship. I can't remember now, but it has some LGBTQI plus rep in here. And then we have Susan Lewis' new release, I Have Something to Tell You. Then we're on to books I want to read, or book clubs. So I really would like to read Keelan Patrick Burke's The Novellas, which is like lots of little short horror stories in here. It's not overly long. It is 180 pages, so I'd like to squeeze this in because I have another book of his that I'm reading, and this sounds really good. Then we have Stephen King Misery, which is SydBookWorrom's Patreon book club, so we'll be reading that. Then my book club, we are reading The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. Really excited about this. It's to do with ghosts and like a haunted hotel and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm really excited for that, so I'm reading that for my book club. And also my mass along will be continuing with Throne of Glass, so we'll be reading Kingdom of Ash, but I haven't finished Empire Storms, so I need to read these two, so we'll see. And then we're on to readathons. So I'm not going to go through them all, but this is for Stabathon. So I've got Fangs, Turn Off the Key, the Seven Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, The Suffering, and Camp Strange. So that's for Stabathon. Then I'm also doing Spookathon, which is a month-long readathon. So Stabathon is the 4th to the 10th. So Spookathon is the whole month. So I'll be reading There's Someone Inside Your House. I've got a graphic novel of Pumpkinheads. I then have what I was on about, Keelan Patrick Burke, which is Dead Leaves, which is 9 Tales from the Witching Season. Absolutely love this cover. This is just full on like October spooky vibes. And then I'm also reading Empire of the Vampire by J. Christoph. This is a chunky baby, but I'm really excited to read this. I think if I can, I'm going to do a vlog just specifically of me reading this and my thoughts of that. So if you're interested in me doing that, then let me know. So that's all for Spookathon. And then I also am participating in Vampathon, or was it Vampireathon? Vampathon, I think. I can't remember. So I will be reading Mina and the Undead. Crave for like numerous times. I've read this book however many times now, twice now, and I've not been able to finish it because no time. So finally, hopefully, we get to actually finish it. Then I have a graphic novel. It's Frostbite. It's volume 2 of the Vampire Academy. I need to get volume 1, but it's not at the library, which is annoying. So I might have to get it second hand, so then I can read these two together. But this I'm really excited about because I love Vampire Academy. It's my favourite like movie, so I'll probably be rewatching the movie too. And then alongside all of that, I've got some other graphic novels that will fit some prompts, which is Anita Blake, The Laughing Corpse. We've got Buffy and the Vampire Slayer Angel, and I've also Victorian Undead, Sherlock Holmes vs Zombies. So that's that for Vampirathon. And then I also do have Sweater Weather Readathon, which is to do with fall. So October fits one of the prompts, so I might just do that because it fits 2 prompts and just do that. Or yeah, I might do that, or the other option I've got is this one, which you won't know what it is purely because I've turned it, but it's called These Hollow Vowels, but the actual artwork underneath has got leaves and all that, so that could possibly fit read a book in fall as well, but it depends because this is obviously a chunky book. I don't think I could do these two, so I might just do that one because it does fulfill quite a few prompts. So yeah, that is the massive big TBR. I have other books that I've accumulated that fit in for spooky season, so you know, if I decide I don't want to read this particular book, I can swap it out and all that. But yeah, I think I'm going to continue spooky season through November as well, just because there are some books that I've accumulated for spooky season and they sound really, really good, and I'm like, oh, I really want to read them. So I might make like a 2-month spooky season because, you know, why not? But yeah, that's all the books that I will be reading for October. Put your comments down below to see whether I actually will complete it or not. And also let me know if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts are. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you again soon. Bye.